All right, what's up, everybody? 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. I am Frank Red. How you doing out there? It is that time once again for the best unknown hip hop sports talk show in the nation, in the Dungeon Show, hosted by me. I want to thank you and yours for joining us on this lovely evening. And boy, do we have a show for you! It's so much to talk about. We haven't been on in a week. It's actually last Sunday, and the eve of the 2024 NBA Game 5 championship, in which the Boston Celtics won over the Dallas Mavericks. And then we had the untimely death of the great Willie Mays, and also, I mean, we've experienced so much death. I mean, you guys know I'm a music buff, a film fan, writer, rapper, screenwriter, so on and so forth. Donald Sutherland also died, and I probably didn't really get an opportunity to appreciate him until later on in his career. And going back and looking at his discography of films was kind of fun, because the guy's just a great actor. I think I probably really honed in on him in the Hunger Games. Although I'd seen him in a lot of other stuff. I know he was in MASH, but I didn't watch MASH. I was too young to watch that. But yeah, and with regards to the great Willie Mays, growing up as a kid in New York, that one visual of Willie Mays playing stickball in the streets of Harlem with kids who looked like me, literally before he had a baseball game that night or after or whatever the case. That's all I needed, because what Willie Mays represented to me was hope, and the ability to dream, to see somebody smiling, living life. That's all I needed as a young person, to take all of that in and carry it as I started my journey. And obviously, as an adult, I got a little closer, but I never got the opportunity to meet Willie Mays. But I didn't have to appreciate his greatness. And again, yeah, he had 660 home runs, over 3,000 hits, played 24 years. 24 All-Star games, was it? I mean, all these great feats. And the one thing that I remember about Willie Mays is really about the reverence that people have for him as a person, not as an athlete, because accomplishments, as we get older, they fade, but the memories don't, unless you have Alzheimer's or you start to, lose your memory. But I think that keeps us together, the memories. And this is a guy who touched so many people. He was born in the state of Alabama, like I was, about 3 hours south of where where Willie Mays was born, is where I was born, and moved to New York as a really, really young child. But great reverence for the man. We've gone through a lot as sports fans this year. And and what it does is it speaks to how important this moment is right now, that we have to break bread together and to share real moments and real experiences. And I am so happy to be on air. All right, let me just say that right now. There's so much to talk about, and we're going to talk about it all. Off the rip, I just want to say big up and salute Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers for what they can potentially do tomorrow night against the Florida Panthers. Something that's never been done, I guess, to come back from 0-3. A Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 1995. This dude is a marvel. He is, I guess, this generation's Gretzky. I'm not comparing him to Gretzky, but what he's doing rallying his team is unbelievable. I'm not going to spend 2 hours talking about hockey, but he deserves all of our respect. And hockey fans, I know you're giddy right now. All right? We're going to talk about the pending NBA draft. We're going to touch on that. Feel free to ask me anything about the draft. I got one rule. I don't comment really on players who I haven't seen play. So a lot of the European players or players from different countries, I might have a little something for you, but I'm not going to sit up here and lie. The Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese battle in the WNBA lived up to it. Classic basketball game this afternoon. The Chicago Sky were victorious 88-87 over the Indiana Fever. And as I was putting the show together, I said to myself, you know what? That game was as good as any NBA game that any of us could watch on a Sunday afternoon. You guys know that. And I've been on board for a long time, but what a game. The game was awesome. Back to back to back, Angel. And you know what? Angel Reese. I didn't see that coming. I thought she'd be good, but she reminds me of like a Dennis Rodman. She's overwhelming her opponents with hustle and determination. And she can play. She got decent little footwork. She needs to improve. But give Angel Reese all the credit in the world. And she said early on, well, Caitlin Clark is not the only person that people are coming to watch. And we kind of like, we don't want to diss her. You know, we kind of was like, yeah, but we got to give it up to her. I love watching her play. I think everybody loves watching her play. She's outstanding. And Caitlin Clark, you know what? She's doing things before I thought she would. I thought that she'd be an all-star by year 3. You know what? She's already one of the best point guards in the WNBA. I'm going to say she's number 3 right now. Maybe I put Skylar Diggins over there, but you know, you got Gray, Ionescu, and then Caitlin Clark had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 13 assists, and guess how many assists she should have had? About 17 or 18, because 4 or 5 passes literally bounced off the hands of her teammates. I mean, somebody's going to catch an eye injury. Someone's going to lose an eye out there. You know, because she reminds me of Steve Nash. What a phenomenal passer. You know, so I had fun watching these women get it done this afternoon. Feel free to comment on that. NBA free agency is around the corner. And I'm really loyal. If anything, I am really loyal. That tells me that the Warriors and Klay Thompson, despite what you hear, they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they are. I'm going to comment on that. I think Paul George is going to stay with the Clippers. There's too much money to be made after his playing career is over being associated with Ballmer. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The Chicago Bulls and OKC Thunder, I think both teams did pretty well. I think OKC gave up on Josh Giddey too soon, but he needed a change of environment. Billy Donovan and his staff developed players. Kobe White, anybody? I think they got a steal, you know, and I think he's going to go to Chicago, get himself right. His shot is not horrible. It's not good, but I think Chicago basically got a lottery pick for a guy in, Alex Caruso, who we all like, who was chasing money like he should. OKC, they didn't talk about it, but OKC is going to extend him 4 years for $80 million. I'm happy this guy got paid. He's awesome. But big up Chicago. All right, man. I got so much other stuff on my, all of my stuff that I've done. But we got a busy board up here. We'll go out and talk to the people. MF says Caitlin Clark is a lot of buzz. She's a lot of buzz. And she got a lot of game, man. And if you hear her press conferences, I love her press conferences. She's really starting to take hold of that team. She's already the second best player on the team. And she's starting to act like it. Kendrick over Drake. Grand Admiral Shanahan, what's up, brother? Let me say this. Kendrick is one of the greatest rappers of all time. All right? Drake is one of the best music artists of all time. If it's a battle, Kendrick won the battle. What he did, bringing all of those communities together, I think was really, really cool. All right? As a rapper myself, as somebody who's really about the culture and really about people getting along, I want to see Kendrick, do some of the things that Nipsey Hussle was trying to do, and maybe he's already doing those things and I don't really know about it. That could be factual, but I want to see him really start to make some statements now that uplift the community. He's done that musically as a leader. He's well spoken, but I want to see him now take some of the resources that he has and really incorporate the community. As far as Drake is concerned, you know what? Drake kind of took one on the chin, but Drake did not embarrass himself. He did not embarrass himself in that battle, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm gonna say this also. I don't think he lost any fans. I don't think Drake has already been a humanitarian type. But I think the message that Kendrick was trying to send, or was resonating with me, is that, okay, bro, you're 15 years in the game, you got all the money in the world, you're 40 now. Let's hit some 40 age raps. That's what Jay-Z said. Jay-Z's like, yo, I love hip hop, but it got to be right. I can't rap like I'm, coming out of Marcy Projects. And from Drake's perspective, if you still want to rap about what you're rapping about, then you got to make it more sophisticated. You got to evolve. I think that's fair. So I really admire both artists. This idea in 2024 that you got to write all your lyrics, I don't know, depending upon who you are. I write all my lyrics, all right? But I come from a different era. Drake is part of a machine. He writes a lot of great songs. He's written a lot of great songs for folks. But to think that he could produce that much music by himself, it's insane. He can't do that. So, when I look at Nas, I look at Jay-Z, I look at Drake, I look at them differently. I look at Eminem, I look at them differently. It doesn't mean that Drake isn't dope. I think Drake is dope. React. SG, what's up, my brother? Hi, Frank. How are you doing tonight? And I really love your show, and you do a great job. Keep up the good work, my man. Nah, thank you, man. I appreciate you. And guess what? With statements like that, that's going to get you on the show hosting with me, man, co-hosting. So keep that coming. All right? I love that. Grand Admiral says, will the Warriors give Clay a third year? I think so, man. I think they will. Because here's what people are not talking about also. Do you really want to piss off Stephen Curry? I mean, yeah, Stephen Curry is an employee like everybody else. But do you really want to piss him off? The greatest player in the history of your organization. For what? 15 million? 20 million? Come on, man. Come on. Gruber and Lacob paid $450 million for an enterprise that's now worth $7 billion. You can actually quantify how much Klay Thompson has meant to that investment. Now, there's a number that I think it gets a bit too much. If Klay wants to go to Orlando for 3 years, $100 million, bye. But I think giving Klay an extra year, I don't have a problem with it. I don't. I think a 3-year deal for $75 to $80 million is appropriate. That's how I feel about it. And I think Stephen wants to play with him. Northern Lights Entertainment. What's up? What's up? Thanks for stepping in the dungeon. Appreciate you. GAS. Will the Valkyries draft Paige Beckers? If they can, if they're smart. I mean, but here's the thing, man. Because Lacob owns the Valkyries, everybody would be pissed if the Valkyries show up one year and they get one of the top 20 players in the league off jump. So, pie in the sky, I would love it. But let me tell you something. It's not going to take the Valkyries long to start winning because the WNBA is so tight. They only have 12 teams. There's a lot of good players in the league. They're only going to be able to protect probably 8 players. There's going to be a lot of players on the open market that's going to do everything within their power to get to the Bay Area and under the Golden State Warrior umbrella. J.C. Sheldon on the Dallas Wings, played at Ohio State. I love her. Firecracker. Can ball out, man. So I love watching Paige Beckers play. But I think that team and that organization is going to set fire to the league right away. Senior softball, what's up? We just chilling, man, having a good time. MF says Willie Mays was an icon. Yes, he was. Dan, Coach Amelia, how you doing, brother? And I know this is all you, man. I know you're sending people to my channel. I really appreciate you. Frank, I'm sending people my chat over with just signing up. Yeah. I knew it. And that's why I love you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I learned more about baseball checking you guys out now than anybody. So keep up the good work. A lot of times, Dan, I'm just listening because based on expectations, I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, where are the Giants? They're obviously not playing very well right now. They're 6 games under 500. But I think 500 is where I thought that they would be. You as a Giant fan and all Giant fans out there, I get you being pissed off. I get it because you see the potential. You think a lot of their stress comes from the front office. But when you put that Giant uniform on, these guys generally play pretty darn hard. So 500 is where I thought they'd be. Maybe 81 to 86 games, struggling, trying to get a wild card spot. So, I mean, we don't know any of these guys. The guy from Korea obviously got hurt. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to get your take on it. Best case scenario, how good should the Giants be? I mean, they took a flyer on the pitcher. That hasn't worked out. But I thought that was a good move. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that was a good move. I would stick with it, get him healthy, and maybe at some point he'll pay dividends. Dave McKenna, NorCal Sports, sent me. Well, check us out, brother. We're probably the best unknown show on the internet, by the way. My name is Frank Red. Pleasure to meet you. Another sign today, the Fever must change the coach. Whoa, that is a great point. And Christy Sides is the head coach of the Indiana Fever. But if she has too many of those, debacles before a national audience, she's going to have a tough time keeping her job. They don't do anything with Caitlin in the half court. If Caitlin doesn't create it, it doesn't happen. And I agree with you. There's no way Indiana should have lost that game. All they got to do, listen, let me give you a play. Check this out. It's a Warrior play, Northern Lights. Most of the teams face guard Caitlin 30 feet from the basket. All you have to do is run a Draymond Green type flash to the free throw line and have somebody either set a side screen on Caitlin's opponent or set a back screen and she's wide open. Caitlin stands there, she doesn't move, and they don't have any action to get her open. It's ridiculous. She should not only score when the ball's in her hand. I was disappointed in Indiana today, but at the same time, I was happy for Chicago because they balled out. They deserved to win that game based on how they came back. They were down 21 points. But yeah, you're right. Spencer Stewart, what's up? Thanks for the channel. I don't do a great job promoting my channel, y'all. So let me say this. If you don't subscribe to In the Dungeon Show and you like what you hear, then subscribe and hit the like button. I need to do better. All right? Nick, NorCal Sports, thank you. Another brother. Will B, what up? MF, love when Frank captured up with Larry. Yeah. Larry and I actually exchanged some text messages today, so be on the lookout. He and I probably hook up at some point. I love that. Dan and Larry from NorCal. Yeah, man, this is crazy. And I love the fact that NorCal Sports is growing as it obviously is. So, you see that for everybody. I just want a Valkyries dynasty. Really? Slow down, Admiral. Take a little time. Is that Audi? 80? I think it's Audi. What's up, brother? Thanks for stepping in, man. Appreciate you. Come on, man. Really? Ain't going on if we're talking about the WNBA laugh out loud. We'll talk about something, but we'll give you something to talk about then. Where's your take? I've covered it all. And yo, give these women the respect they deserve. Man. Caitlin Clark, great baller. Ryan, sitting from Dan, appreciate you. You like it? Stay here. All right, loyalty over money, to a point. Good knowledge, yeah, man. Something I can depend on is my knowledge. LeBron needs to leave the Lakers ASAP. He's hurting the team. That horse is out of the barn. LeBron's part of management. He's part of players. And I got something to say about that, too. I got to take on that. What do you think the Kings would do this offseason? Zach LaVine? Hell no. I think the Kings made a major move by re-signing Malik Monk at their price. Their price was somewhere between $15 and $20 million. They got him for $78 million. Not a huge discount, but a reasonable signing. This guy doesn't start, but he plays 32, 33 minutes a game. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox knows him well, loves him. That was a good signing. Now, the Kings can't screw this 13th pickup. What do they need? I mean, I might take a flyer and go out and either take the center from Baylor or take Zach Edey, man. Just beat the shit out of people. That's what I think they need to do. I like Jarrett McClain, but do they really need another guard? If they want to sign a backup, they can sign a backup with their mid-level exception. And I wouldn't be against signing another backup. But I think they need a big who got some girth, who's going to take some pressure off of DeMontes. Depending upon how expensive Tobias Harris, I might take a look at him. Kings got a good team. They need to shore up a couple of areas. Zach Edey might be somebody I take a look at and just try to develop him. That is a big dude who got decent footwork. Even if he doesn't become a great scorer, if If somebody can get him and just teach him how to be physical, he got a chance. Can the Warriors trade for Laurie, Frank? Not if they're smart. I'm not a fan of him, dude. I'm just not. I mean, I'm a fan of his talent, not a fan of him as a player. I'm definitely a fan of his talent. Laurie Marketing left Chicago, and I'm not saying Chicago used him right, because as soon as he got to Cleveland, he started balling. He made strides in Utah. But look at his rebounding numbers. This dude is 6'10", 6'11", right? Look at his rebound. He should be averaging 8 to 10 rebounds a game. He doesn't. What do you average? 6, 7 rebounds a game? That's pitiful. And guess what? The Warriors are a team. They're going to be guard oriented. They want their big guys to be talented, to get it out the mud. I'm not saying they won't throw it in to a solid offensive player, which he is. But defensively, I think the Warriors take a step back if they give him up. Who are you going to trade for him? Wiggins, Moody? You want to do that? He's a talented guy. Maybe I'm wrong. He's a talented guy. What do you think? Because I think they can get him. Yo, what's up, E? How you doing, brother? I'm maintaining, man. I'm maintaining, having a great time. I love doing this show. Whether we got 30 people or whatever the number, I just love doing this show. Love talking sports and hip-hop and movies, and I appreciate everybody stepping over tonight. I appreciate y'all. Eric says, Monk's going back to the Kings. Let's go. Right. Good dog, man. AB, what's up, Frank? Long time no see. Yeah, well, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't break the camera. Clark is the best player on the field. I mean, she might be the most talented. I don't think she's the best player. I think young lady from South Carolina is the best player. Alicia? Help me out. My man Mark Graves. Way to go, NorCal. Followers coming over to support Frank. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really do. And Mark, with that said, I also appreciate talking to people who tune in on a regular basis. So thank you. Carlo P. Yo! Hey, Frank, what's up? Chillin', man. Mark Graves. Frank got a huge click bet on it. What? Talking the Fever and the Sky? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not quite sure. Well, Barry Bonds getting the Hall of Fame after him being killed at Rickwood. Probably not. Baseball has done a couple of things right this year. Rickwood was one of them. I think incorporating the Negro League statistics into Major League statistics is a good idea. But I really haven't had a discussion. I would like to talk about that. I think it's a good idea, but I would like to talk about it. I think Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are package deals. Barry should not get in unless Roger Clemens gets in. Both of them belong in the Hall of Fame. Kendrick trying to ice out Drake from the rap world. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And, I think we need him and Drake, to be quite honest with you. I mean, think about it. Do you really want to see a bunch of impressionable fans that really run the industry get rid of somebody who has carried the industry for 10 plus years? I mean, what has Drake really done? I mean, give me a break. What's he done? You know, I'm ready for the next Drake joint. You know, the guy makes some really good songs. He makes some songs I don't listen to, but overall, I mean, he's made more hits than anybody in the history of the game. But Kendrick is definitely going for the juggler. Now, I'm going to say this, though. Do you think Kendrick's fans listen to Drake anyway? I don't think so. I think Drake fans are his fans, and they'll go to bat for him. They're not going anywhere. My man Joe says, NorCal Sports Dan told us to check out your show. Well, I appreciate you, Joe, but I want you to make your own mind up, brother. And, you know, and then you make a decision. But I'm glad that you're able to kind of check out some of the goodness that we put forth on a fairly consistent basis. And Dan's my guy. One of my dudes. Eric's one of my guys. Tom, Ant Trade Thoughts Flu. Is that Ant? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Elaborate a little bit more, please. Ryan says, we'd be surprised to see Drake have issues getting features from LA rappers from now on. Yeah, you might be right, Ryan. And but it's time for a shift. Drake's been in the business now for 15 years. Drake's been holding it down since 2008. It's 24. Drake has literally been on top for 16 years. If he is the artist that I think that he can be, he can make a shift and make a totally different record that will galvanize people. He can't do the same stuff he's been doing now for 15 years. Whether he got the sledgehammer from Kendrick or not, I think at some point he was going to have to make a shift. He was going to have to evolve. That's what artists do, or they don't. Farhan the Great in the dungeon came from NorCal Sports. Can you give us new people a quick rundown on your shot channel? Thanks. Sure. We're all sports. You know, we talk sports, and I'm a content guy. You know, so I'm not like somebody that's reveling audience. No. You know, I put the work in. So we're going to talk sports as a foundation. Talk a lot of basketball. I know baseball. I played basketball and football in college. You know, if you look at some of my stuff online, I'm really about this. I'm a rapper myself. I got stuff out there on the internet. Dan might have played my song. I'm a screenwriter, you know. I'm a coach. I do a lot of stuff, bro. And check the show out. If you like it, then subscribe, hit the like button. I really appreciate you giving us an opportunity, though. Thank you. MF, fire emoji. Kendrick, Pulitzer Prize winner. Yeah. 420 says Drake still bitch music ain't done for the children. Okay. All right. I don't know if that's true. I mean, when you look at now, are you talking in terms of musically? And let me say this: I've never bought a Drake record. I've never bought a Drake T-shirt. I don't. You know, Drake has never gotten a dime from me, but he's made some songs that I like. That OVO Fest, I got friends who live in Toronto. I know it raises a lot of money for kids up in that area, in that country. And to what extent rappers have gotten paid, I don't know. But Drake's put a lot of artists on as well. Can he do a lot more artistically? Hell yeah. Is it time for him to kind of step up? Yeah, it is. You know? But I don't think his fans are going anywhere. I think people who don't like Drake never like him. People who like Drake still like him. I think people who didn't like him before Kendrick lit that flame. They don't like him now. He's a talented guy, though. I think he's talented, by the way. That's my tip. Hey, Frank, I want to hear what you think the Warriors need to do this offseason. What do you do with Clay, Wiggins, etc.? Okay. I think you got to re-sign Clay. And you got to coach Clay. And I think that Steve Kerr made some inroads coaching him last year. But it wasn't all Clay's fault, because putting Brandon Podzinski in the starting lineup, that's one thing. And calling him a facilitator, a mover, okay. Brandon Podzinski is not better than Klay Thompson. So if you want to really put Klay on the bench and have him accept it, you got to put somebody who's better than Klay. Brandon's not better than Klay. He's not. So I'm going to coach Klay up. And if I have to put Klay on the bench, like Steve did at times, then I'll do that. You can trade a Klay Thompson. I mean, these people act like signing Klay Thompson to a 3-year deal is a complete albatross. No, it's not. You think some veteran team that's close wouldn't want a Klay Thompson? Come on. Wiggins, for the right deal, I would trade him, because I think his value is high now, especially coming off the playoffs, because one of the things that we noticed was that two-way wing defender that Wiggins still is, most teams don't have. And I mean, watching Jaylen Brown guard Luka from end to end, we could have all closed our eyes and envisioned Wiggins doing the same thing. That's what he did. Wiggins is just puzzling. He is an enigma, because you look at the guy, you look at that talent, and you say he should be damn near all-star level. He should make like 3 or 4 all-star teams in his career. So he's agonizing to watch and to deal with, but he's a quality human being. That's the other thing. The Warriors do not bring in people who have low character to their organization. They don't do that. So if you're going to trade, it has to be the right person. So I want to see what they do in the second round. I want to see what they do in free agency, because I don't think the Warriors are that far off. Keep your eye on like a Kelvin Johnson from San Antonio, because I think that might be a trade partner to get CP3 his money. So I think it's going to be a 3-team deal. Kelvin Johnson is a really good player, good character guy. This whole NBA is based off relationships. The Warriors are going to get a player. CP3 is going to be traded, not cut. Looney's going to be guaranteed and maybe traded. But the Warriors are going to get a player in return. I'm not quite sure who, but Kelvin Johnson is somebody who makes sense to me. Stephen Smith turned down 8 years, $120 million. What an idiot. ESPN is horrible. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Did he? Let me say this. A lot of times when people make comments about Stephen A. Smith, they get emotional. Do you think ESPN is going to pay somebody $20 million a year when they're not making 60 to 80 off of them, or 100? Finding really good talent is hard. Guess what? Stephen A. Smith created an environment that Shannon Sharpe could actually evolve into somebody who's hot, who ESPN is making a crap of money off now. So, I mean, does Stephen A. get annoying sometimes? Yeah, he does. But a lot of that is stick. Maybe it's like real ego now. But dude did what no one thought he could do. When Skip Bayless went to Fox, people thought that First Take was going to fall apart. It doubled the audience. And First Take is also developing into a platform for ESPN to develop its younger talent. So it's not just about Stephen A. about the show. Stephen A. is bringing these people on the show. And Jared Carter, are you kidding me? What? Big Nut? Mad Dog? That was Stephen A.'s idea. So yeah, he gets annoying. 25 million, I think, is a bit much, but somewhere between 18 and 23 million, I think, is what he's going to get. And guess what? Probably at the end of the contract, they're going to tell him to go home and never come back again. That's how the industry works. But talent is hard to find. A lot of people work in this industry want to get paid big money off of reputations. Pat McAfee could have taken that show, gotten a couple of sponsors just on the internet. I mean, he could have did like a Rogan deal, made $100 million a year. There's crazy money in television. There's crazy money in content. How much you guys think I'm worth if I had an agent? Me a lot. I don't really, what I will tell you is talent is hard to find. It's really difficult. Steve A has a lot of talent and a lot of ideas. And, but I think there's a limit. There's definitely a limit. SG, your show is straight up fire. Appreciate you, bro. AB, hey Frank, I want to hear what you. Okay, got two. All right, I covered that. Kendrick is mad that Drake spends all this money on gambling and stupid stuff with streamers. Okay, why not talk to him? When I say, yo, Drake, this is what I see, B. Drake is worth between $500 million and $1 billion. I mean, like I said earlier in the show, it's not about Drake. It's about Kendrick at this point, right? I mean, you know how big LA is? You know how many legions of fans this dude has? You know how many after-school funds this dude could put money up to support? Kendrick could build a school in his community. There's so many things that he could do. So I'm more interested now, like I said, in having Kendrick make a statement outside of music that benefits his fans and his people in general. Because he's clearly a really, really bright guy, introspective, and to a large degree, I think hip-hop has been slow in that regard. That's always bothered me. Because now I can talk from a perspective because I don't have any money, but I'm really about service. Everything about me is about service. And it's hard to put money in people's hands when you're not totally confident that they're going to articulate and manifest your vision. But do it yourself. Do some of the stuff yourself. I know a lot about a lot of things. Education is one of them. I know a lot about education. So, because I benefited from education. To the extent that I didn't have to pay a whole lot of money. There were people there to support me. So that's one gateway that I know can really make a difference in our society. And for a long time, people of color didn't have that kind of money. But now we do. We got money. So that's my take on that. I really admire Kendrick. And, Drake has been an incredible artist. I think Drake's done some things also that maybe I don't know about, but have impacted the lives of people. ER says, evening chat. Great to see NorCal guys in here. Yeah, right, let's go, man. '90s and 2000s R&B in the dungeon. Well, we might play some soul music, but you know what I'm saying? We're hip hop station. Thank you. Yes, Mark Graves. Hit the like and subscribe while you are here. Thank you. MF says it's a good show. Appreciate you. I'm just trying to get everybody in here. Ryan kind of agrees with me. 3 years, $75 million for Clay. Yeah. Right. Do you think TJD will be our starter next season? I love Loon, but I think TJD needs to be. Yeah, he's going to start. Unless the Warriors do something crazy and get somebody that we're not thinking of now. Yeah, I think, but he got to get better, man. You know, a lot of times, Trace Jackson Davis kind of gives you this all shucks, golly gee type persona when he's like not playing basketball. He's a sweet young man. I mean, smart, does great interviews. I want to see more Kendrick Perkins. You know, I want to see a raw dog. I want to see somebody who's really willing to challenge some of these veterans. Jackson Davis is not a young guy. He's put a lot of, I mean, he's 23, 24, maybe? You know, he's capable of getting like an $80 to $100 million contract. He got to be a lot more physical this year than he was last year. He has to be. Looney, his days have passed him. You know, he's probably a 15-minute player. You know, Looney probably be out of the league in a couple of years. Probably won't close games though. Draymond, yeah. I think you're right. Will be mishearing Frank on 1140. KHTK. Right. It was a great time in my life. I'm very appreciative and happy that all of my friends up there who are still working there are doing well. However, if I was management of KHTK, I would sign me just like on a guest spot. You know, Frank, come in and blow these lines up, B. Come in one Saturday, one Sunday, and break the internet for us up here. Because that would happen. That would definitely happen. I think people know that. But it's all good. I have a lovely time doing what I'm doing now. Warriors should buy low on Devontae Murray. He got a contract. Dude's in the middle of a pretty good contract. You know, he's making, I mean, he's a good player. And I think if the Clay era is ending, you could do a lot worse having Devontae Murray on your team. But if you're Atlanta, what do you want from the Warriors? You don't need another forward. You got 19,000 forwards, right? So you don't need Wiggins. What do you need from the Warriors? You're not giving up Kuminga. So Warriors are not the best trade partner with Atlanta. But Devontae Murray is a good player. Really good player. Steph, Dre, PJT, Moody, and Pod. That's my desired starting five. One based on current. That team would not make the playoffs. If that's your starting lineup, no way. I mean, how good do you think Moody and Pods are? Moody right now is basically a 3-and-D guy. That's what he is. These are all like creme de la creme human beings. We love these guys. How good do you think Pods is? Solid NBA player, good rookie year. Is he as good as Alex Caruso? I don't think so. But Alex Caruso's been in the league now for 6 or 7 years. My point is, it's going to take Pods some time. CP3 was a security blanket last year. Everybody thought that Chris Paul was going to come to the Warriors and that $30 million club option was just like an afterthought. It's not. This dude is a baller. You think Pods is better than CP3? I don't think so. I think Pods is going to be a solid NBA player, but he needs a couple of more years, man. Look at Dante DiVincenzo's trajectory. That's what I think Pods' trajectory could potentially be. This is Dante's 5th year. It takes a long time. Pods does not know how to catch and shoot. He goes left 80% of the time. If you are the opposition, he's in the scouting report now. So you're looking at his tendencies. Hopefully, I want to see one of his workout tapes. Because we see Kuminga's workout tapes. And that dude gets better every year. Doesn't always listen, but he gets better every year as a basketball player. I want to see, I guess Pods is going to play in the Summer League too. Pods is going to play in TJT. I want to see the work. Thanks for coming over, Jay. Yeah, I want to thank you as well, brother. Thank you. Anybody, man. I mean, okay, Ryan says, in my opinion, we should trade Wiggins, Looney, CP3, 2 first-round picks for Capella and Murray from the Hawks. Provides good guard scoring and defense from the guard position we lacked, and a big. I like that. I really like that. But nah. I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. No way in hell. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. That's how you build your team. But I like 80% minus the picks. Maybe 1 pick, but not 2 picks. What are your thoughts on Monk back to the Kings? I love it. I love it. Golden Pods instead of a pick if the Hawks want Pods. They would probably take Pods for one of the missteps that they made on some guards. If they could send you back another guard that they don't like. Pods don't want to go anywhere though. Monk's deal was actually good for us, cuz he's in the Clay type. He got $20 million. Clay wants 25 to 30. So you could do a lot worse than Malik Monk at $20 million. I agree. I enjoy all sports, WNBA to the UEFA Euros, etc. I like watching the women in World Cup. They're talented, and some of the women are just beautiful. I love looking at beautiful women. I do. If that's being a bad male, because I like to look at beautiful women doing incredible things, I guess I'm not a great guy. But the lack of scoring, and that's probably because I'm not as educated about soccer. I didn't play soccer. But I love watching women's soccer, like our national team. I'm watching a little bit of the women's pro soccer league. But if I had my choice of watching soccer and the WNBA, I watch the WNBA all day. AB says, Frank, your Knicks are the only ones who will be able to take out the Celtics anytime soon. no one else from either conference is nearly enough depth. Yeah, I mean, I love where the Knicks are right now, and you're hearing rumblings that Anunoby is not happy, but let's be honest, I can't pay him more than $30 million a year. He's going to kill your salary cap. I mean, people sneeze at $150 million like it's nothing now. Like, really? Really? I mean, Anunoby is never going to be more than a third option on any team he plays for. He's a damn good two-way player. He's a winning player. For 5 years, for $150 million, I'm good on that. Particularly when you hear somebody like a Jalen Brunson looking at taking less to help the team. I mean, come on, man. $150 million? I'm signing up for that. Knicks got a lot of depth. I would love to see Mitchell Robinson go to Chicago Bulls. I would love that. I don't know if they can swing that. I think Chicago has enough pieces, along with picks, maybe play. I mean, watch out for Chicago. Chicago is not that far. Chicago could get Mitchell Robinson, keep his name is not Zubac. What's his name? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna kill his name. You know what I'm talking about. They developed him, the kid from USC. Mitchell Robinson, big fella, Giddy, re-signed DeRozan on a short, big-time contract. I think the Bulls got a chance next year. Right, I'm a big Warriors fan. I live and die with the Warriors. You guys are talking to each other. Frank, what do you think about my trade proposal? I said I like it. Ryan, I like the trade, but I don't like the 2 picks. I don't. The next couple of years, man, I mean, Antetokounmpo was drafted with the 15th pick. You're going to have some of those guys. The top players are not going to be always in the lottery. And when you are out of luck without a pick on multiple years, you're in a bad place. For example, Zach Edey could be a stiff. Zach Edey could turn out to be a top 10 center. He's going to be drafted, what? Anywhere from 13 to 30? Imagine getting a big 7'5" guy like that who can actually score. You don't give away picks. My man Keith says, "What's up, Frank? Warriors need to play the youngsters to get rid of Clay. You can't stay in front of guards and not physical enough small forward. Love the memories, but he's a backup now. Not worth it." Okay. My whole thing is, if you're going to take Clay out, you can't say our young guys. Because your young guys are they capable of averaging 17.5 points a game, shooting 43% from the field last year, and 38 from 3. That's what Clay did. And what was a, quote, horrible year for Klay Thompson. Now he was 0 for 9, 0 for 10 in the playoffs. Okay, he had a horrible game. But that's what Klay Thompson, do the Warriors have a guard on their team who's capable of averaging 17.5 and shooting 38% from 3? Because I don't know who it is. It's not Pods. It's not Moody. So if you want to, I mean, I'm okay with moving forward, but give me somebody to succeed Clay. I don't see it on the roster right now. Big Frank, who do you possibly consider a superior player to Clark on the Fever? She controls the court. Assassin. What's her name? Alicia from South Carolina. The big girl. She's better right now. Now, in 2 years, 3 years, Caitlin Clark has opportunity to be a top 5 guard. I think she might be a top 5 point guard already in the league. That's how much I think of Caitlin. But right now, the Fever are better when Caitlin is finding her teammate inside. Mark Graves, I need you, brother. So if you say that Caitlin's more talented, oh yeah. Caitlin's the most talented player on the team. But is she the best player on the team right now? I don't think so. Defensively, she's not a two-way player like some of her, like the young lady I'm talking about is. I love her trajectory, but she's not there yet. She's fun to watch, though. I watched the whole damn game that she was playing. And she played damn the whole game. That's another thing about her coach. You couldn't find 3-4 minutes in the first half and the second half. She played the whole game. I thought that was terrible. Brand Admiral says, I'll never forget the first time I watched Steph pull up from deep. Burst the Lob City Clips live. Those were the times when it wasn't normal. It was new. Such an amazing experience in Arco. Well stated. Well stated. And that brings me to my, the topic I want to get in. I love the traffic. I love everybody supporting me and supporting the show. Appreciate it. But a lot of yahoos online like to knock the NBA. And they said that, the finals sucked. Boston and Dallas was terrible. The NBA is horrible. No. The NBA has a lot of good players, and a lot of the games are really entertaining. But what the person was alluding to, what people allude to sometimes, the NBA is devoid of stars right now. And it's a combination. It's not because they're not good players, but the personalities that we're used to kind of wrapping our arms around or having resonate with us, we don't really see those people right now. I don't know if it's the marketing. I don't know if people are just boring. They don't know how to promote themselves. But it's kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem. Even when AI wasn't going to the finals, he only went to one finals, he still had his legions of fans. I'm going to say there's only 3 superstars in the NBA right now. A superstar meaning that they're must-see TV. People show up to watch them play. Stephen Curry at 36 still is a big-time watch for basketball fans, locally and nationally. LeBron James, like him or not, LeBron has a legion of fans that tune in to watch him play. And next is obviously Victor Wembanyama. He's coming. And, you want to see the Spurs on television 67 times in 2 or 3 years, and that's what you're going to see. Those are the only superstars. Tell me I'm wrong. Is Luka a must-watch? Not to me, because I'm a traditionalist. Can he be? Yes. Is he right now? No, he's not. Complaining to the refs, inconsistent defense. I don't want to see that. I don't. Now, in terms of teams, yeah, my Knicks are a draw. The Knicks are fun to watch on TV. The Celtics are fun to watch on TV. Who are some other teams that you tune in to watch? I can get some KD, just because I like KD. OKC, Jay got to get a ball up, man. His usage rate is too high. It's part of the reason why they went out and got Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso actually was an all-star with the G League team of OKC, so they're very familiar with him within that organization. But part of what they wanted to do was get the ball out of Shea's hands and get him more to the point where he's catching and shooting, driving, because it's not aesthetically pleasing basketball to watch. Now, for those that don't know who Cooper Flagg is, he's going to Duke. He'll be the freshman there. Most basketball fans know who he is. He could be one of those revolutionary type players. He's going to turn college basketball on its head, and he has a chance to do the same thing to the NBA. I watched a video of Cooper, I want to say this morning or last night, and I watched quite a few. That dude is one of the best prospects to come out of high school in a long time. You know, I don't want to get into hyperbole and say it's LeBron because there've been so many good players. The dude is going to stand out. Cooper Flagg is outstanding. And oh, by the way, he's white. All right? And anybody who thinks that that does not matter and help the league, you're out of your mind. For college basketball, are you kidding me? I mean, to see a 6'9" white boy dunking on everybody next year, regardless of color, oh, they're going to eat that up. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why people get up, oh, his color. So what? That dude was in the gym busting his ass like everybody else. You know? Color doesn't matter to him. It's going to matter to some of his fans. They're going to look at him and go, whoa, I've never seen that before. I can't wait. He got the whole package. Jumping ability, free ball, mid-range, post up, play D, block shots. Cooper Flagg's that dude. You got NBA teams right now figuring out how they're going to lose legally. It's not going to matter. But whomever gets that, Danny Ainge is doing he's having like a seance right now. You know, think about that. Danny Ainge is literally trying to trade some of his best young players that he's developed. That's how bad he wants Cooper Flagg. I'll never forget. Okay, I'm sorry. Read that. Funny. Great fans of females who are on the rebound. That is funny. Hey Frank, I've seen you with Larry Kruger. Yeah, that's my dude. The guys over at NorCal Sports Network gave you a shout out and asked listeners to pop over. Yeah, man, you know, I appreciate it. Those are my guys too. You know, my thing is this. I don't do a really good job marketing the show because it's really not about marketing. But Tony, what I think you're finding, what you're listening to, is my show is good and rich in content and it's entertaining. And thanks for checking it out. If you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the like button, and check us out. Spread the word. But I got to do a better job promoting the show because it's a good show. It's really good. I've always been high in content driven. Abdulio! What up, Frank? Hope all is well. Believe it or not, watching your streams partly inspired me to start posting more videos on my channel. Shout out in the dungeon. I love it, man. I love it. This is a great time in our lives to express ourselves. And if this show inspired you to do that, I am so happy. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about entertaining and inspiring people, you know. Just real I don't need like a lot of somber stuff, but I was in the hospital for the last day and a half. I hate hospitals, but I had to go to the hospital for a procedure because I needed it. I needed to get some blood. And listen, and everybody knows this. There's a major difference between your perspective of the hospital in the daytime and the night. You don't want to be in the hospital at nighttime. Anybody's ever been there at night? Oh my God. I don't want to sit in another hospital, hopefully forever, the real distant future. I don't like hospitals, but I had to go to the hospital. But I was like, yo, I'm not spending the night at tonight. I got a show to do. I'm getting out of here. That's how much I want to do this show. Grand Admiral says, I make music that electrifies them. I make music that pacifies. You make me pacify, laugh out loud. Yeah. Yo, man. Kendrick is an animal, dude. Kendrick is no joke. I'm trying to figure out. I'm convinced we're getting Paul George or Devontae Murray. I think Devontae Murray is more reasonable than Paul George. Paul George, yeah, I would have to check his drink for him to leave LA. I mean, really? Your owner's a billionaire with Boma? No. No. I'm going to have Boma turn me on to some AI money after I'm playing. I would be Steve Ballmer's, not his best friend, but I would get close to Ballmer. If I'm George ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. You see how happy his mother and his dad are sitting in the front row in that brand new arena, and they're showing up every game courtside? What Paul George could do, he could negotiate having a couple of concerts per year, something like that. Grand Admiral says, I like Max on First Take. Will Kane was lame, though. A Mad Dog is nice. Whatever Kevin Hart will call him. All right. You guys having a lot of conversation with each other. We're going to hear everyone talking about taking advantage of Curry's prime, but unfortunately, Father Time never loses. He's on his downside, and Clay already is there. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I don't think it needs to happen now, man. I don't. I think it can be a slow burn. I do. I think it can be a slow burn. And I think in the meantime, the Warriors can get lucky and do what they're kind of doing now. Develop the players that they have so it's not pathetic. Because we've seen teams just be pathetic. The Portland Trailblazers made it to the playoffs for like 17 straight years. Look at them now. Look at the Bulls after the Jordan. I mean, they're okay. They're 500. But there's a steep drop that can occur from being really good. So I don't know what Warrior fans want to see. I don't think that people are willing to pay those exorbitant prices to go to games when the team sucks. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like I said, it's a slow burn. Keys of Curry's being on the downside, 26.5, and 5, I guess, rebounds or assists. Curry's problem was he was definitively the best player on the team. Here's where the data makes sense. When Stephen Curry plays more than 33, 34 minutes, he's done. He's done. that little heart that he has just can't take anymore. So they got to surround him, some younger players who can play. Because I felt for him last year. AB says, Frank, give us your top 2 sleepers in the draft. All right. PJ Hall, center from Clemson, big rugged, about 6'10" guy, real smart, not a high flyer, but strong, tough, can shoot the 3, can rebound, serviceable. I mean, based on where the Warriors drafted 55, he might be there or he might not even get drafted. Harrison Ingram, the guy who started at Stanford, played in North Carolina last year. He might be a late first-round pick, or he could slide into the second round. He's the guy who's going to play in the NBA for over 10 years. He would be perfect for the Warriors. He would get 15 minutes a game next year after the first 10. So PJ Hall and Harrison Ingram are my 2 sleeper picks for the Warriors. And there's a guy from Serbia also that I like. And I don't want to take the time now because I can't see his name. This is bad television. I apologize. But I put it up on X. I like him. There's one Euro guy who I really like. Just breast up. Okay. Cooper Flag is overrated. Ian Jackson is something special. All right, we'll see. I don't know Ian Jackson, but I've seen Cooper play. Now, here's the deal, this is what I don't like. And I get this from people who I deem to be professional. I don't know how you deem yourself. If you're going to say Cooper Flag is overrated, that's fine. Tell me why. Because I'm a talent evaluator. I play Division I basketball. I play against the best players in the world. I played against Jordan. I played against Mullen. I played against all these great players. So if you're going to tell me the Cooper Flag is overrated, tell me why. Because I've evaluated him. There's nothing he can't do. Nothing. So tell me why he's overrated. No tanking with Curry. Nah. Steph is not going to play. Nah. Joe Lincoln offered to buy the Giants. They should accept the offer and buy more real estate, which is what Giants owners actually like and care about. Yeah. All right. I went to the movies on Friday. You guys know I love film. I saw an incredible movie that I want to tell you about. The movie is called Ghost Sites. And it was written and directed by a really talented woman, Kelly O'Sullivan, and a man, Alex Thompson. Look at what I wrote. So, Kelly O'Sullivan and Alex Thompson wrote and directed a brilliant film about people trying to find purpose, meaning, how to grieve, and ultimately a connection. And they used Romeo and Juliet to tell this gripping story about the complicated lives that we all live. Yeah. Got what I wrote. Um, let me get situated here. So this movie, Ghostlight, basically juxtaposes what happens in the play Romeo and Juliet versus a real life scenario involving a family. And I don't want to give too much away, but the intersection between what took place in that play and the tragedy that this family is dealing with all comes together in a way that is truly ingenious. It's an independent film, and I love independent films. It's called Ghostlight, and what it does to me is it just reinforces the importance of story. That's what film is about. Film is about telling great stories that we can all relate to. The blockbusters, yeah, once in a while. But if you are a person who can appreciate a great story, and you got some time, you like film, Ghostlight is highly recommended from me. I highly recommend Ghostlight. So let me know what you think. I don't want to give too much away, so I'm going to leave it there. But it is a brilliant, brilliant movie. I think my closing take tonight is going to be about Sha'Carri Richardson. Who? If you don't know who Sha'Carri Richardson is, you got to know who she is. She is the representative for the United States for the 100-yard dash. She won the #1 entry for the United States, and she's going to represent us in Paris along with 2 of her teammates. Now, the reason why I mentioned Sha'Carri Richardson is because 4 years ago, she made the Olympic team to go to Tokyo. And she was disqualified because apparently she got busted for using marijuana. And when it came out, I had empathy for her, but I didn't think that she should not pay the cost. Some people don't get busted and, they get away with stuff. But I think she knew the rules, and she used a lot of different reasons why she had used marijuana. Many of them are real. You might figure that marijuana is something that no one should be tested for. But the rules are the rules. She's had to overcome a lot. Her mom died when she was young, maybe around 4 years ago. I don't quite know that. But when you look at what this young lady has been able to do on the track and off the track, it is remarkable. And we should all salute her. She's dealt with a lot. And as opposed to giving up on herself and giving up on her dream, she's really put things together. And I think she's the favorite to win the gold medal in Paris. And she's exciting. She's definitely going to be one of the stars of the Olympics. Sha'Carri Richardson. She has a grandma there. She has her coaches. She has an allegiance of fans. And she was the type of person who was kind of flamboyant, She would run. She had like an orange wig and long nails. And the cool thing about her is I think she's even kind of turned down her exterior a little bit without giving up who she is. She's still who she is. And I love that. She's like, yo, I can kind of meet America and maybe like the corporate sponsors halfway. And I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to represent who I am. And I love that authenticity that she brings to to track and field. And I'm just so happy for her. So if you don't know who Sha'Carri is, I'm sure many of you already do. But be on the lookout, because what a talent. What a machine. She's fun. All right. Like a lot of people have been saying, AB said Frank is a Fordham legend. I love Fordham University. I chose the right school. You know, the cool thing is, I think people who knew me when I went to Fordham, hopefully they would say, Frank is he's a better person than basketball player. And I was pretty good. I was all right. But thank you for that. I appreciate you. Fordham, man, I chose the right school. I would encourage anybody to at least check out Fordham University. They care about their student athletes. It's important that they graduate. Fordham's gym is iconic. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a new gym. But Rose Hill, it turned into a museum. All right, I would love a new gym. I also participated in track and field in high school, and I took part in the 100 meters and 200 and 300 meters and the long jump. And I'm inspired by all of these great runners in the Olympics. Very good. All right. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the show. This has been incredible. I want to thank NorCal Sports for giving us a real nice boost tonight. And check the show out. If you like it, then come on back. All right. I post on X. Follow me on X at Big Frank Brand and subscribe to the Introduction Show if you like it. I'm going to do my thing and get out of here. Look for me this week on some other shows as we get closer to the NBA draft. All right. I'm going to do my thing and get out of here. Success in getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. My name is Frank Red, everybody. It's been a pleasure and an honor to host the show for you tonight. Good night.